Riverside Radio.
Alright, it's 2 minutes past 3 on your Monday, which means it's on Air Acoustic time, and it's quite exciting because I'm not just welcoming a new guest, I'm welcoming 2 guests back. So I must be doing something right. I'm welcoming Lucy Wroe and Tom Berry back into the studio 2 months before your original.
Yeah.
The original one, when you were saying stuff like, I'm going to be releasing an EP.
And now here we are.
And now here we are for like basically an EP party.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is the perfect place for an EP party. I think if I could have picked any place, Riverside Radio.
Yes! That's going in. That has to be in like the show reel or like my tape I'm sending off to people.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to have that one. Okay, so 2 months ago, you obviously sang Better and all that kind of stuff. How did that song get on?
I listened to it the other day for the first time in so long, and I had forgotten about it, and it came off like, I feel good. But actually, it is the most successful, technically, if you're looking at numbers and things. Yeah, it's the most successful thing in terms of like the trajectory of the release. But also, the way it just felt, and like the people who, whenever I speak to people who know me, they always mention that one. They say like, "Is that Better was your last one?" Yeah. So actually, I'm quite happy with it. I'm very happy with it, actually.
How did you get to see the numbers?
Well, there was different streaming platforms, but like all the different apps, like Spotify, you have Spotify for artists, or Apple Music, you have Apple Music for artists. They're actually the only 2 that I have. But
you go on DistroKid as well, the distributor that we use.
You can go on the distributor, and they have like all the minute breakdown of all the numbers, each stream you get, each buy. Yeah,
I love it.
If you like numbers and this guy,
this guy,
if you are
this guy's a numbers guy.
I check my Spotify for artists every single day, and it just informs how my mood is going to be in that.
See, I can't do that. I can't look at my Spotify.
Yeah, I ask you sometimes, and you're like, I don't know.
It's better.
I sometimes tell you, Better's hit 1,000 streams or something, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's actually an incredible achievement, though. 1,000.
Yeah, and I think it's just because it's streaming.
It is incredible.
4 figures. That's quite
imagine how much money you'd make off 1,000 plays on Spotify. It must be loads of money.
You've now got £1.
Yeah, I feel like with Spotify in particular, I always get really bogged down in the fact that 1,000 streams doesn't seem like a lot, because people who have an actual living off music or proper success, and all that means, but they've often got tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and they still haven't made like a huge audience in real life. They still have these small gigs. So when I only get 1,000, I think like, oh, where am I? Where is that really? But then people always say to me, 1,000. If you put 1,000 people in a room, it's a lot of people. But
that is, that would be a really good gig to do, 1,000 people.
Exactly.
I was talking to Tim Stafford, who was here last week for On Air Acoustic, and he knows, he was like saying about how far his tracks go, and that kind of blows his mind. Can you tell like where your music's being played in the world?
Yeah, you can see top cities, top countries.
Where's the top cities?
It changes all the time.
This is exciting.
It's usually London, right?
It's usually London, and then always Germany. And in Germany, there are a couple of places. But that's because we have our friends in Germany.
Yeah, because you did a gig in Germany, didn't you?
Yeah, we played there. Yeah. So Essen, and I don't think Bonn's ever been on there.
Aachen's been on there.
Cologne's been on mine, and then Switzerland. I've got Switzerland on mine, and usually a few American towns and cities as well.
That's so wild, isn't it? To know like you're not there physically, but your song is.
Yeah.
I find that crazy. Like, we've obviously done like the shows for here, and then you find out like an artist will come in and she's like, oh yeah, but like my family's listening in like Croatia, and you're like, what? Like my voice is just in some Croatian home. Like it's just so weird, isn't it? Like when you actually think about it.
It's very cool.
But it is cool. So so Better's come out. So now you're doing it. Obviously, you said to me your EP's coming out.
It's
obviously come out now. Yeah. How has it been in those 2 months of creating an EP?
Feels like, because this one we wanted to be really laid back. We wanted to be like not thinking about all the minute details, like really scraping the.
Well, you don't want to think about the minute details.
Yeah, no, production.
That's your job.
Yeah, well, in the productions, but like in the process of releasing it, all the marketing stuff and the social media stuff, I think so hard about it all the time that I thought, actually, I'm just gonna take it a little bit easier, go with the flow. And so far, I've been the most productive and the most exhausted I've ever been in a release. And I feel like that's because I'm not trying to concentrate on it. So instead of overthinking, I'm actually doing stuff. And it's a lot more tiring doing stuff than it is thinking about doing stuff, which is what I was doing before. So the last 2 months, they've gone by really quickly. And I've been very tired. Tom Berry looks like he wants to say something.
No.
Okay.
Do you give yourself like each other? Like, do you give yourself like, right, this is my responsibility, that's your responsibility? Or do you kind of just go, we'll kind of do this, you can't,
I don't know, really.
It happens naturally, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Generally, all the mixing and the mastering things, I tend to just organise or I do myself.
And the visual editing.
Production, you're like always sat behind me, and I'm doing things. And if I do something that you're like, no, don't do that, you'll tell me, which is fine.
How often do you meet up, like for like little
At
meetings?
the moment, it depends. At the moment, quite regularly.
Because obviously we've all got busy lives. So how are you kind of, setting aside this project?
When we were finishing it, because I had a week or two sort of between we're going to put it out, let's book a mastering day, so I need to like finish producing everything and mixing everything. We had a weekend or a day, like every Saturday or something like that. A longer day in a week. But I don't think we really book time. It just sort of happens, doesn't it?
It's something I find quite interesting, that people have some people have a goal to be like, right, let's say August 20th, I need to bring out a song. Or some people go, well, when it's ready, it's ready. I always feel like I'm a goal person. Like, I have to have a goal, because otherwise I'll be like, I'll do it.
That's why we sort of put a deadline in of like, well, usually when we book a mastering date, it's like, right, that's the time the day before I need to have everything done, and it's quite a good reason to do everything, because else I would just, when we did Better, it took a year on and off of me like faffing, not just because of me faffing, but it was like, we don't want to put it out in like October because it doesn't feel right.
I also think this EP came out earlier than I thought it was going to, just because I thought, you know what, I think we should put it out. And the songs are quite short, and they're all a little bit weird.
They're really short. One of them's really short.
Like a minute long.
Like 1 minute,
And this is one of those projects where we're like sort of going through the drive and the old stuff and thinking like, this was a really cool thing. Why didn't we do something with this?
That's what Upjump was.
And then both of us were like, why do we have to think we need to finish it? Maybe this is finished. Maybe that's just what it is.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, I was listening on the way here. I was listening to Charlie XCX, and Good Ones and the new one for the Barbie song film. They're both 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
No fat. They're just lean to the point, which I like.
Ed Sheeran was a bit like that, wasn't he, with his latest album? He was like, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? And they were just kind of like, just do it. And he was like, do I do it? And then it's like one of his most successful albums. So I guess it's just... Yeah. I'm not comparing anyone to Ed Sheeran.
No.
Because he's like top of the list.
I don't think I've ever listened to an Ed Sheeran album.
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't imagine you listening to an Ed Sheeran. It's very anti-Tom.
Thanks, mate.
I'd have just put that on on like one of the reviews.
Yeah.
Anti-Tom.
Yeah. Okay.
So talking of this like EP, it sounds very different to a lot of your other things. How come you've gone in a completely different direction?
I think we always make this stuff. Every now and again we make one of these. This is very much inspired by Tom's production.
There's a big smile from Tom there.
A lot of this was Tom making a really cool section, or just like a loop, or even just a drum production. I don't know what you want.
I don't know. Lazy Bones. How did Lazy Bones start? I was with you, and then I just Usually I'll take a harmonic sample of something. Like I'll sit in front of a piano and record something on my phone. This one, Lazy Bones, was Lucy playing the piano at a rehearsal, and the next day I was at work in the studio, and I just had I think I was on lunch or something, and I just opened my laptop, chucked it in, and laid up a load of drums. I like starting with drums because it's sort of just like you find where the song is, and then you sort of expand it, flesh it out a bit more.
But I think this was much more experimental in the way it's produced, just because we were...
That's just the way I do things, to be honest.
Tom was just having fun. And usually he'd write something and bring it to me because it sounds like a Lucy Rose song.
That was what Better was. He
came to me and said, this sounds like it'd be great for you. Yeah. Whereas this stuff was more me just saying, hey, I'm going to write on your stuff.
Yeah, it was going to be for me. And then
I stole Tom's work.
Not for the first time.
But it was just the weirdest stuff, because I'm more interested in that these days, and I listen to stuff like that.
Back to Charlie XCX.
And I love Charlie XCX and Caroline Polachek. And who else am I listening to? Tennis. I don't know.
The 1975 to a lesser extent.
1975 a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but they've changed their sound over the years, haven't they?
But I think it's just a natural progression as well. Like sometimes you just feel the need, you feel a pull towards something new. Yeah. And then you try it out and you think, actually this is...
I like artists who get gradually weirder as their careers go on as well. I can't think of any.
Well, there you go. So Lazy Bones, I think... we should have it.
Yeah, I think we should.
I also it's quite interesting that. So talking of this before, actually, something popped in my head. So, were you ever going to sing this song? Are you a singer as well?
No, not really. I have, but I don't enjoy it. And
okay. I was going to say, I wonder if you could do a version.
No,
that'd be so.
So when I produced it, it was literally just a piano loop, some bass bits, and some drums, and that was it. And I just had it as an instrumental, and then Lucy wrote on top of it.
Yeah.
With
You make
me,
it sound
with
so
me in
easy.
the next room.
Yeah, I actually kicked him out because I wanted to use some effects on my voice because I found it quite inspiring to put those weird little effects on there, and then you just make noises and like, oh, that's interesting. And the melodies turn out in a very strange way compared to how they would if you sing them acoustically. Oh my god!
Sorry, gang.
We're getting ready. This is what I like, though. I don't want pristine. I do want to bring the yeah, I don't know how to say it. Like
it's noisy.
like the way it is. Like this is a live studio performance, so there are going to be weird noises.
True.
But okay, let's do it. I think.
All right. So this is Lazy Bones, and it's a little bit different. It's very different. It's
very
an acoustic
different.
version, and usually it would have some harsh vocal effects. So I'm adapting.
And some banging drums.
Some very loud, and lots of noise. So this is the anti-noise version of Lazy Bones.
Same song every morning in my head, but I won't turn it off cause it makes me feel right. Even if I lose my mind, I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. At 2 p.m. on a Friday, walk down the middle of the road at night, wrong way down a one-way. I like it. I like it. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it. I like it like that. I like it like
I'll give you a wow.
There it is.
Wow, I know. I'll give you the wow.
Wow.
No, it's incredible how different that is compared to like the
OG.
studio version, like or you know, the one you'll get on Spotify. How do you do that? Like, yeah, how do you kind of so some songs do sound the same, but then that sounds very different.
Well, I think that one is genuinely because
I think the key is blind panic, personally, of being like, oh, we need to do this. We need to play. We need to play acoustically, and we haven't done it. Let's figure something out. Last night.
That's fun though. Isn't
Because
it fun? I don't know. Is it fun or is it panicking?
It's interesting, but it sounds different. Like when we're playing along, I hear it in my head. I hear the original because it's easy to keep track otherwise.
Yeah,
it's easy to lose track otherwise. But like trying to sing it, I find so hard. And I don't know if that comes across. I think in videos it comes across because you can see me concentrating. But because I did it, when I recorded it, I put a really harsh auto-tune on. And because when you've got the auto-tune effect on, you can just do random stuff and it'll just sort of like create matter. It'll capture something, When you sing it without doing that, it's so unnatural. I don't know for other people, they might be like, but for my voice,
it sounded great to me,
really
so don't worry.
It's really hard to pinpoint it, and I want it to sound exact because I'm a bit like that, a bit intense.
Perfection.
Yeah, perfection. But yeah, we just sort of try it out, and then we go, yeah,
that's
all right. Yeah,
but it sounded great to me, so well done. I'm pretty sure everyone else would have enjoyed it. Do you know when it comes to? So I met a screenwriter the other day, and when they're writing a script, he says he'll just write everything. It doesn't matter what order it's in. Just he'll just write, and he says it's all in the editing for him.
Yeah.
Is it the same as songwriting? Do you sort of get everything down on a page and then go, right, we'll edit? Or do you kind of go, no, I need to go from do-do-do-do-do?
It kind of depends on the song, that one. But I used to be really bad at editing. I was always really, I don't know why I became that way, but I was really strict with myself. So if I wrote something, it all came out in the right order, and that was the way it had to stay. I think actually working with Tom made that better, because his way of producing is like, that's not good enough. I like this line, so keep that. And now my mind has sort of been retuned to understand that there are bits that I know are going to be right, and then there are bits that I just fill gaps, and I go, I'll come back to that later, you know. So sometimes I do it.
I think there's something to be said about doing like everything stream of consciousness, like doing one big thing and being like, that's it. It's its own artistic statement. But to make something, to whittle it down until it's the best it can possibly be at that moment, I think is a different muscle.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So
it's quite a hard thing, isn't it? Like I can't believe how easy you're making it sound. Like I don't know where I would start. Like, where do you start with a song? Like, I have no idea. Like, if you would give me a challenge right now to write a song in a week, I just don't know where I'd even go. I'd probably just run. So where do you start?
With Lazy Bones, it started. We were in a rehearsal. Supporting somebody. We were like in a backing band for someone, and at the end of the rehearsal everyone was just packing away, and because I was just sitting at what was I sitting? I was at Nord.
It was a
Nord
with like a Wurlitzer
keyboard, and it had a Wurlitzer sound on it, and I just started vamping these chords, and they just sort of come out. Sometimes you sit down at a piano and you put your hands on it, and then you move somewhere else, and it just makes sense. It's hard when you're a pianist. I think it makes sense, but it just happens that way. So I put these two chords together, and Tom was behind me, and he said, watch this, and then he put his phone on.
No, you told you because I do that all the time. I
captures
but
things.
you just sort of grabbed me and was like, record this. You told me to do it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
See, this is why we keep him around.
Yeah, this is why we keep Tom. Everyone needs a Tom.
And I said, watch this, and I threw it on the floor because the keyboard was coming out of a speaker in the middle of the stage, so I had to get the sound more direct. You sort of have to. I put the phone in the middle of the stage, so I just threw it as far as I could.
Recorded the piano sample, and then from that, so that was the beginning. So that was just like me vamping around, and it wasn't like a specific song that came to me. It was just a little chord vamp. Captured that, and then I had the idea of the way it would fit into a nice groove, and I said, if it needs to have this kind of drum groove around it, hand over to Tom. He makes beautiful drum groove that sounds exactly right, and from there you just sort of had these little
flashes. Where do lyrics come from for
lyrics from me? I like
to ask a question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a conversation. Let's have it.
I mean, that one was because at the time I was very lonely and sad and bored all the time.
We've gone into these feelings before.
We've been through this last time, but it was around the time that we were going through.
It's like 2 weeks after
our little breakup.
I know. I remember you just like threw that upon me.
Yeah.
I was like,
So I was at home and I had this little instrumental that we put together with the chords from the rehearsal, and I was singing along with an effects one. And I just thought, like, I want to try and use this as therapy to come to terms with the fact that it's okay to be bored. It's okay to sit around and not do anything and feel a bit lonely and sad, because it'll pass. And that was not meant to be like, don't worry everyone, bad times will pass. There's a horizon. But it was meant to be like, that's why the hook in that song is I like it like that, because I describe in the verses a lot of scenes where I'm just like very bleak, and then the chorus is like, do you know what? That's how I want it to be right now. I like it.
Everyone has
I'm
that.
Okay with it.
Everyone has an ups and downs and twists and turns.
It's just like trying to convince yourself that you're okay with it, and then when you get past that bit, you're fine. And you actually are okay with it. So this song's me trying to convince myself, I'm fine.
They always come from like places from the heart, though, don't they? Songs. Everyone, I feel like I get here. Everyone seems to have that one thing in common where it's literally come from the heart and soul. I feel like, I guess that's maybe that's where I start with songwriting. Yeah, exactly. Heart and soul. God knows what will come out. So we've got an exclusive. Yes. So we have okay. I like this, but what is the exclusive? Because is it part of the EP or is it an add-on from the EP?
No.
What is it? Tell me.
Well.
This song is something that again Tom wrote. Did you write the guitar for this?
Lucy Wroe was out at Ministry of Sound with one of her friends, and I was really ill, and I stayed at home, and I was just like fiddling around with the guitar, and I think I have it saved in my phone. It reads more maliciously than it actually is. I recorded this thing, and I called it "I'm ill and you're out clubbing" or something like that. And I remember writing it and being like, wow, that sounds really mean, but it's not. And I wrote it because I wanted to write a 1975 song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
so
your
it's a very
inspiration.
different vibe. It's a very different sound to the stuff we just played and the EP we just released. Tom's just retuning.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, honestly, do it. This is what I love.
So
I love this.
It kind of, and actually the friend I was out with at the time, it's about her.
It is?
Because,
Oh my God, it is. I
and
forgot about
at
that.
the gig we just played, we actually played this song.
She got very embarrassed.
Did she?
And I said, like, I didn't say her name, I just said it's about someone in the crowd.
But I
She was like,
immediately...
Did she just
Oh,
know?
no,
Did she know first, or did she know during the
heard
song
it,
where it's
yeah.
like the pin
Yeah,
drops
yeah.
like, oh, okay, I think
Imagine.
this is about me.
Yeah, imagine. I told her when we made it, we recorded a demo of it, and I played it to her when she came over once, and she loved it. So this is
That's a bonus.
this is actually going to be eventually a duet with some of our good friends.
Oh, awesome.
That we haven't recorded yet. And the idea, just before we broke up, was I was going to get some funding or crowdfunding and book a recording session in a big studio, and we could film the whole thing, and we could get my friends in, and we can all record it together, and it'd be a big event, and then this would be like a big duet single. So then we broke up and ruined everything. And now, everything's just sort of got away from me, and I'm going to come back to it. So we're trying to keep hold of this song because we really love it, and every time we play it, everyone loves it. So
It's so much fun to play.
But yeah,
we finished
it's not
the set on it because it's
when we played it live, it was like that was the one. Everyone loved it. So we're gonna play for you today.
All right. Well, here is the exclusive. What is the exclusive called?
It's called "This Is What It Feels Like."
I'm gonna I'm gonna just quickly check the tuning as well.
Yeah. Do what you need
This
to do.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. All right.
It's all right. It's all right. That's what we want, isn't it?
When we played it in Germany, I was borrowing someone's guitar, and it was very different to my guitar. And every time we played it live, I went out of tune midway. By the end of the verse, I had to like stop and quietly lean at the side of the stage. Anyway.
All right. Well, here we go.
This is what it feels like. Just to say that it's deeper. I'm too blind to it anyway. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, you say. I'm too young for it anyway. Oh, I think of it all the time, I think of it all the time. Oh, even when you're not on my mind, I'm still thinking of it. 'Cause it's the devil, you know, leave me out. I want you to see that you're everywhere that I go. Calling through the smoke, leave me out. I want you to bleed out now, you know that this is what it feels like. 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 The kind of lies that I know you've been keeping. You're too lost on me every day. When I can't leave and you can't stay. I can't believe you would throw it all away. But it's the devil, you know, leave me out. I want you to see that you're everywhere that I go. Calling through the smoke, leave me out. I want you to bleed out now, you know that this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Yes. All right, that's the exclusive.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a wild song. That.
Is it? I love playing it. It's so much fun.
I know. Like, I mean, I love you guys anyway. I mean, you're welcome anytime. You can have a hat trick if you want. But like, oh my word! Like, so where did that? Like, the lyrics of that song is just so. Like, the way you've said it is like it's about a friend.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, it's not about me and the friend. It's about my friend and her ex. So at the time they split up, and it was there was a lot of anger. There was a little bit of revenge.
Oh.
It's a song about. It's just a song about.
Very
revenge.
vengeful person, isn't she?
Very vengeful.
Yes.
I think she'd like that.
Drama.
Yes, I am. So it was kind of about the way they navigated their breakup, and it was a little bit angry and messy. And I wrote a song because that's great songwriting material. Yeah. So.
Hi, you're crying, but I'm going to make some money off it.
No regrets. No regrets.
No, so you sent it like for a demo, obviously not when you played it live to her, because wasn't that did you do that with Better as well? Did you send that, or was it? Or maybe that's someone else.
I don't know.
But like, how did when you send a demo? What was her reaction back like? Like, okay, cool.
She was kind of laughing about it because she couldn't believe all of it. But then she said that she couldn't, in the first listen, she couldn't catch all the lyrics. Yeah. So she made me send her the lyrics while she was listening. And she read through the lyrics while listening, and then she was like, okay, I see.
Very intense thing to do.
Yeah,
read through the lyrics.
Very intense.
Yeah, why not?
So I think she was all right with it. I think she thought it was quite good because it is, kind of in her favour. This is what it feels like. It's from her point of view, being a bit like, now you know how I felt.
I know.
Basically.
God. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's quite nice though. You've given like your friend a song. It's got. I mean, I've not really met many people who have said, "Oh, one of the best gifts I've got from someone is a song." Yeah. So that's quite awesome. So when's that coming out? Is it going to be before TBC. Carfest, or is it going to be after Carfest?
No, it's going to have to be after Carfest because I want to record it with my friends who are going to be involved in the project. But to do that, it's quite a big
international affair.
It's an international.
Oh, okay.
Intercontinental.
One of those ones.
So yeah. So I think because Carfest has come around really quickly. It's literally nearly exactly a month away today.
Oh, okay.
Carfest, the 25th of August. So we'll play it at Carfest because I think it's going to be a good festival song with the whole band and everything and all the harmonies in.
It's quite a family thing, isn't it? Carfest.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice. So how did you get Carfest? And is this like one of your first paid gigs, or is it like?
No, well, first big paid
gig.
It's my first actual festival. Like I've played little community festivals, but never a big one. And got this because I used to play in the garden of a tiny pub in my village, where I'm from. My village, the village.
Lucy's village.
I own a village.
Birthplace of Lucy Wroe.
So I was playing in the garden there, and I used to play a lot of weddings because the network starts to grow and everything. And people are like, "Oh, I saw you play the other day." And the guy who worked there as the DJ doing weddings, they always hired him. Also lives in the area. We met on a few occasions because I would do the morning acoustic sort of drinks reception stuff, and he would do the evening DJ stuff. And he runs a studio in Andover. His name's Mark Burford. I don't know if he's listening, but if he hears this, Mark,
if he's not, he's missing out.
And he runs Sunrise Sound Studios. So we just got in touch, and he messaged me one day and said, I'm involved in curating the unsigned artist lineup for Carfest, and your name came up, so I thought, actually, I'm going to send your name over if you're okay with that. And I was like, yes, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to turn around like, no, actually, I don't fancy it. Yeah, and that's how it happened.
Oh, awesome. Well done to that. We are out of time. I know, half an hour goes so quickly. I had someone the other day went, oh my God, half an hour? Like, I'm not sure if I can speak that long. I'm like, I bet you do. Okay, well, look, all the best to you. Waves EP is out now. Yeah. It's on Spotify, isn't it?
It's everywhere.
Social medias, what are your social medias?
I'm really good on Instagram. I'm active there, so if you find me on Instagram... Lucy, what guy? What is
that was very like this is a fact and not something I'm making up.
I'm on Instagram, Lucy Wroe Music, Lucy WROE, and everywhere else basically. I try.
You try.
Well, there you go. How can you ask for anything more than just try? We live busy lives. Well, look, honestly, thank you so much. And whenever you're doing other things,
we'll be back.
Message me and you'll be back for the hat trick. Wonder if you'll be the first two to make the hat trick.
Yes.
No one else done a hat. We have to be. No.
We have to be.
We have to be. Awesome stuff. Right, well, honestly, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.